I got something to say. Hi, y'all. Welcome. Um, Being a woman has nothing to do with what you were born or how you identify. Being a woman is, have you made the conscientious choice to move past the humiliation and shame that has been thrusted upon you to live in your truth? Hot take. In the growing hate, growing amount of transphobia, femicide, and everything else terrible happening in this world, I'm sitting here and I've decided that being a woman has nothing to do if you were born with XX chromosome, if you have a vagina between your legs or ovaries. It's not about if you're able to carry children or if people see you as a woman. Have you ever been humiliated by something or someone or a group of people for doing what society has told you to do? And have you pushed past that to do it anyway? That is my definition of if you're a woman or not. Doria, what does that mean? You know what it means? It means if you have ever been told that you're bougie or stuck up when you've just been sitting there quietly minding your business, you're a woman in my eyes. Because women are taught to be quiet. They're taught to be seen, not heard, not take up as little space as possible. But when a woman, especially a woman of color, does it, suddenly there's a problem. Suddenly there's an issue. Boom, you're a woman to me. You're a woman to me. If you have ever been humiliated for doing something innocuous, innocent, you're a woman to me. Plain and simple. Hell, if anything, I feel like you're even more of a woman if somebody's ever told you not to do something that needed to be done and you realize that unless you did it yourself, it would never get done. That's woman in my eyes. Yes. That's why when trans women come and want to be women, I hold my hand, baby. We gonna hold hands together, because nothing about being perceived as a woman, being perceived, wanting to be a woman, has anything to do with what you have between your legs. It's everything to do with how much are you willing to change and break yourself in half to get people to like you and to accept you. That is what it's like to be a woman. I don't think being a woman has... I think being a woman is just like, have you been through this humiliation ritual and do you still want to do it? That's all I think being a woman is. Because society runs off of women's insecurities. It runs and feeds itself off of women's hard work and problems. When we have an issue with the dating pool, women are told it's your fault. It's your choices. It's what you've been doing. And if you have ever been slighted and faulted for something that was out of your control, you're a woman in my eyes. You're a woman wholeheartedly in my eyes, because you've been hurt and shamed for something that has nothing to do with a damn thing. We don't shame rapists or deadbeat fathers the way we shame mothers who take a nap. We don't shame men nearly as much as we shame women. Women are shamed from the moment we come out the womb. From the moment we come out the womb, we're handed Barbie dolls and toys and baby dolls. And then when you say it as a little girl, I don't like baby dolls. I don't like makeup. I don't like this. Suddenly you're being inundated with being called ungrateful, rude, demanding, demeaning. You're scolded and you're scolded and pushed aside and ridiculed, all because you didn't want something that people gave you that you didn't fucking ask for. I know little girls who got shamed for not wanting to wear bows in their hair. It's a fucking bow. Who cares? But if you're a woman or you're a young girl, everything cares. The moment you put up a fight to say, hey, I don't want that. Hey, I don't want this. Hey, I don't like that. You're the problem. And if you've ever been told that you're the problem for just saying, I don't want that, you are more of a woman than anything else in this world. You can convince me of it. If you're ever scared to walk down a dark street at night by yourself, hell, you're closer to a woman than anything else. If you've ever thought about how to sneakily or cunningly get around something or around a barrier in a way that won't have other people hate you or see you as a terrible person, you're closer to being a woman in my eyes than anything else. Because being a woman is not about what you wear. It's not about what you have. Hell, it's not about if you can carry children or not. It's about being humiliated and still pushing on. It is learning to deal with all of the contradictory bullshit that society throws at you, and then deciding, hey, I'm going to figure out how I want to do it. I'm going to pick and choose how I want to be. And that's the problem with men. They never learned that society is wrong and that they should pick and choose what they want to do. Women are taught routinely that what they want and what they want to do is irrelevant to the facts that it's irrelevant because nobody cares. It's irrelevant because unless you make it happen, nobody else is going to make it happen. So many women right now are waiting on a man or somebody to fix their insecurities, their house, their problems, not realizing a man is just going to exacerbate the issues. Whatever you feel internally, a man is going to exacerbate that. A man, hell, a partner is going to exacerbate whatever feelings you feel internally, the deep, shameful ones that you've been hiding. That's just going to exacerbate it, bring it to the surface, and make you have to deal with it over and over again. Except you're trying to like pass it off onto somebody else when it's your issue. I know I sound like a male manipulator right now, but it's not that. I genuinely think that being a woman has nothing to do with what you have between your legs. I mean, prime example, I have decently long hair. Like, you could probably see, like, I have locks. I've been growing them for like 2.5 years. They go past my shoulders now, and that's past my shoulders even with an undercut. When I was a little girl, I had incredibly long hair too. Like a lot of black girls, I had incredibly long hair. It hit down here. I had plaits, which are like little 2-strand twists that go all the way down, you know. Well, my mom used to plait my hair in a way that had one plait that went straight down my face. And it used to cause acne. It used to get in my face. It used to rub my eyes. It was annoying. I hated it. I begged and begged and begged her to not braid it that way, to split it in half, to braid it to the back. But she insisted on braiding it to the front. And we had already had problems anyway about her doing my hair. I was a tender-headed child, and she was a heavy-headed woman, heavy-handed woman who didn't care and often did my hair while it was dry as hell. Because she didn't know how to do hair. She was just doing my hair to make sure it didn't reflect back negatively on her. But my hair was a reflection of my family. How I looked was a reflection of how other people saw me. It does not matter how I felt. It did not matter about what I wanted to wear. It was a reflection of my family and therefore what they wanted out of me. So, the little Aries in me, realizing that my mom was never going to stop braiding my hair to the front like that, I just took a pair of scissors while she was gone and I snipped that hoe off. I snipped it off. And I was so happy about what I did. When she came home, when my mother came home from work, I handed it to her with a pair of scissors and I moved on. Because that was the only way that that I felt like she was going to pay attention. I hate that plait. And for a very long time, that plait, for a couple of months while that plait was still growing out again, I loved it because it was shorter. It was either non-existent and then it was shorter and then it got longer and longer and longer. And when it got long enough again, she started braiding it to the front. So what did I do? Cut it off again. Why? Because I hated it. I hated it. Okay? I hated it. And I got in trouble for it. I got in trouble twice. I got a whooping both times. And I look back on it and I laugh. That's a fond memory for me now because it shows how much I was not about to be bullied about something so innocuous as fucking hair. I am not about to be bullied like my appearance is the ultimate downfall of my family. I'm an incredibly smart woman. I have 2 degrees. I have 2 bachelor degrees. I have 2 bachelor degrees. I have a high school diploma. I am certified for multiple things. I have multiple charities under my belt, like charities and volunteer work that I've done it for. Nobody is going to make me feel less than or worthless just because my hair isn't done or I don't have makeup on. And I importantly need to remind myself that it doesn't matter if people don't like the way I look. I'm a woman. They're not going to like anything about me at any given point of time. Literally. When I used to do my makeup all the time and I was really, really into makeup, I would be ridiculed and pushed down and shoved to the side and made fun of for being a bimbo and only caring about my looks and being self-absorbed and obsessed. And yeah, people want to reclaim those words and reclaim those titles, but they mean it as an insult and you're being insulted no matter what. Just because you want to reclaim it doesn't mean the connotation isn't there. Those people are insulting you. You are being made fun of. Just because you want to reclaim it and it's supposed to be like this, fuck that. At the end of the day, when they say it, they mean it as an insult. So you need to handle it and handle that discussion like you've been insulted. Okay? But again, as a woman, no matter how I handle it, it's just not going to be good enough for any fucking body. Whether I handle disrespect poignantly, confronted, handle it straight on, I'm aggressive, I'm rude, I'm a bitch, fine. If I let things go, I let it slide, I'm weak, I'm pussy, I'm this, I'm that, fine. If I take it to somebody else, I'm a tattletale, I'm a troublemaker, I'm starting issues. If I don't do anything else about it, I'm the problem. I didn't let anybody know. I'm an imperfect victim. Like, there is no winning trying to be a woman. And when you recognize that there is no winning trying to be what you need to be for yourself, hell, just to not be unhappy, that is when becoming a woman truly begins. When you start looking at people and saying, fuck you, for trying to tell me who I am and who I want to be, that's when being a woman truly begins. When you start looking at your mother and telling her that she can mind her own damn business in these streets, that's when being a woman begins. A woman is not born. Okay, no. A woman is created. A woman is forged. A woman is forged out of pain and suffering and humiliation and finding the diamonds in the bullshit. That is where a woman is born. A woman is not born because because a baby came out with XX chromosomes. A woman is not born because some asshole made a rule about you 100 years prior. That is not when a woman is born. A woman is not born because society says you're a woman. A woman is born when you have come out of pain and suffering. When you have come out of pain and suffering and tried to make yourself better in the process, that is when a woman is born. That is womanhood. That is the light and the love that we're all looking for. That is the dark feminine and the light feminine coming in to make you whole, make you who you need to be. Okay? Dark feminine is looking at all the things you've been shamed about and working through it, and not only working through it, but loving yourself and making it a part of who you are and not a hidden secrecy or hidden compartment of your overall personality. Okay? Light feminine is what's been shoved down your throat and what you've been accepted in that makes you feel so bad. That is light feminine. Light feminine is what society has seen about you and what it does and does not accept. Dark feminine is the internal shameful parts of you that is trying to teach you how to accept yourself. Yeah. And that is why the light and dark feminine conversations will always be so incomplete in my eyes, because y'all don't know what y'all are talking about. Y'all don't understand what you're talking about. And only having feminine energy is going to make you such an imbalanced person, because you are supposed to be balancing the feminine and the masculine all internally to make a whole person. To make a whole person, to make a whole woman, to make a whole man, to make a whole being. Too much of one thing means you are imbalanced and you are probably misusing and abusing yourself and probably other people around you. Okay, we've seen people who have hyper-masculine energy or who are hyper-masculine. All they do is hurt people. Literally, all they do is hurt people and tear people down and ruin situations that should be very, very fun and lighthearted. And people who have too much feminine energy or hyper feminine are master manipulators. They're manipulators, they're liars, they're non-confrontational. They like to throw stones and hide their hands. And both sides are incomplete and abusive. And if you want to move from a non-abusive mindset, you have to understand that you've been abused, but it's not right to abuse somebody else. And being a woman, it's coming to terms with the fact that you've been abused and you will probably continue to be abused, and trying your hardest to not let that influence all of your actions in your every waking moment of your life. That is what being a woman to me is. Being a woman, again, as I've said many, many times over this video, it's not about what you wear or how the world perceives you. It's how you choose to move within this world, even after they've shamed you and humiliated you. This is probably all over the place, and I'm really not about to edit this down. So I really hope that this makes some level of sense. I really hope this made some sense. But the broom is up. Take care of yourselves. Bye.